Hi there, my beautiful beings. How are you today? So in this gorgeous video, I just wanted to share a vision that my psychic friend from New Zealand had, because it was so beautiful. One morning this week, the last couple of days, she sent me this recording that she could see me, and she said she could see this computer or this phone. She couldn't quite clearly see what it was, but there was this screen, she said, and on the screen she could see all these names of people, and I was welcoming all these people in. You know, it made me think of the gorgeous event that we're running in September, but it is already happening. She was saying to me that all the lives, you know, that I've been, the vision that I have of all the lives that will be free, you know, with forgiveness, with the self-love courses, all the beautiful things that I've been guided to put together. She was saying to me, people are already receiving all that information. And she was seeing hundreds of names on this screen, and I'm welcoming everybody. And they're all talking, you know, like she could see all the names and she could see them all like on this Zoom live event, but she doesn't know what that is, which is not a very tech person. But I knew, because I've done Zoom events before. So as she was describing it, I could just see it, you know, and all these beautiful beings. And she said, and they were all signing up for something. She said, I don't know what it was. She said, but I could see them all as these little lights, you know, in the world. Like she could see the globe and all the lights of all the people that were signing up, you know, for whatever we were doing, or that were on this, you know, event, in this event, on this call. She said, and they looked like all these little lights around the globe, hundreds and hundreds of them, she said to me. And in that moment that she was describing that, I'm seeing all the little lights, because it was so visual what she was describing, all the lights on the globe, you know, and around the world, of all the people, you know, because we are light, we are energy. And so it was such a beautiful vision, you know. And at that time, for some reason, as she's describing all that, I'm holding my hand out, my left hand for some reason. I don't know why the left, as she's saying that. And all these lights around the globe are falling into my hand like little diamonds. And there were so many diamonds, you know. I had to grab my other hand as well to catch them all. They were tiny little diamonds, you know, all of those little lights. And I was catching them all, you know. And I didn't understand what that meant when I received the message originally. I had that vision of all these beautiful diamonds in my hand. You know, originally I thought that had to do with abundance. And then today I just had the vision again, because I listen to that message every morning now. I loved it so much. It made me cry. And I'm seeing all these beautiful little diamonds, and I was remembering covered in yucky mucky mud. Because what came to mind as I was looking at those beautiful diamonds, at all these little diamonds, all those lights that were on that call, each one of those diamonds is a creator in this life. Each one of you is creating your reality. And the first thing that came into my head was, you are more powerful than you know, and that you are powerful beyond measure. And so as I was holding all those little diamonds this time, I looked down and they're covered in mud. That's what reminded me of that book, Covered in Yucky Mucky Mud. And as we were going through all the beautiful process of forgiveness and then self-love, because we were going from course to course all together as a group, you know, and I'm watching all the shifts. And as this is the thing, when there are shifts with the beings that, you know, come in through the groups, through the courses, I have incredible shifts within me. You know, there's new awareness, there's new things that I get to see that I couldn't see before, you know. And so I'm looking at all these beautiful little diamonds covered in mud, you know, this time. And as I'm going through from course to course to course, you know, with all these beautiful beings, and we're all growing and we're all evolving, you know, as a community, the mud starts to wash off, you know, and that's how I felt. That's why I loved that. I know it's a mouthful, covered in yucky mucky mud, but that's how I felt when I was writing that book in the beginning. I felt like my whole life I'd been covered in mud. And it wasn't until I got through the beautiful forgiveness process that starts in your past is a gift that I realized, oh, this is how I wash that mud off, through forgiveness. So I wanted to share that because it was such a beautiful thing for me. I cried, because I thought, oh, she was seeing it. And I had never talked to her about holding events or that I had created the courses. As far as she knew, I had stopped writing when I got to When Love Leaves, because at the time I was sharing so much of what I was doing, and she was starting to feel like inadequate, I think was the word. I was making her feel inadequate because she didn't know what to do with her beautiful gifts at the time. So I'm talking about 4 years ago now. So I stopped sharing all the stuff that I do, because I didn't want her to feel that way. I've seen many lifetimes where she's been persecuted for being the beautiful light in the world, for sharing her beautiful words. Like Jesus, he was persecuted for what he was sharing in the world, And so I've seen her go through many lifetimes like that. And I understood, that for her, it's not easy to share. It's not easy to speak up. And many times when she does speak up, a lot of the people around her just don't understand, because she's like on another level, like sometimes I really need to listen to her recordings a few times. And lately she's been talking a lot about quantum, the quantum field and how everything is here now. It's not linear. And at the moment, the information that she's sharing was like when I first heard there's only one of us in the room. At the time, that went straight over my head. It's not going straight over my head because I see it. I see that, yes, this is the moment. This is the only moment. And in this moment that we're standing in is that we get to see future, past, like all of it, all the dimensions from this place. Because time only exists here in this illusion. It's not real. It's only for this, what we have here, this human lifetime. But time is not real. And I've felt this, I've witnessed this every time I've gone in to do a Reiki session. A distance healing. I'd go in and it felt like I'd been in there for like 2 hours, and I'd come out all blissed out because the angels were there, or whoever, whatever being had come in to assist this other beautiful human being with their whatever they wanted done, And, sometimes I felt like I was in there for at least 2 hours. And I'd come out and I'd look at my watch and it hadn't even been 40 minutes, and I'd be sitting there going, whoa. And one time I went in with that beautiful friend of mine that's a psychic, and I felt like I was in there for days. I've had a few with her where I felt like I've been gone for like a week, and then I come back and I'm like, are you kidding me? That was just an hour. So I know when I step into that space, whatever it is, that dimension, I don't even know the word. I don't like getting caught up on words. Whenever I step into doing Reiki, it feels different. I can't even explain it with words, but it's like time stands still. It stops when I'm there. I feel like I'm going to come back and, I'm going to look at the clock and it just hasn't moved sometimes. But in there, it feels like I've been in there for hours sometimes. So it's a really strange feeling, but wonderful, because it's such a peaceful space. It's blissful. It's really hard to describe in words, but amazing, So in this beautiful video, I wanted to share all of that was coming through. I am constantly growing, even still. I thought I started this new YouTube channel and that I was, coming from a different space. And just a few months ago, I just realized, wow, I'm still in the same space, that, I need to sell these courses and I need to keep doing this work. There's this need, there's this get. I need this from, and when you're coming from this space of I need from whoever's watching, whoever's listening, they're picking up on that energy. It's not so much what I'm saying. It's not the words. You can feel when it's unconditional love, and you can feel when there's conditions, when there's something, and you can definitely feel when someone needs something from you and they want something from you. They're trying to get something from you. And so the last couple of months have been about looking at it. See, that's what makes sales difficult for so many healers. And that was something I wanted to bring through in this one. For us, and even the word sales, there's so much like money. There's so much negative energy around it, you know. But both money and sales are an exchange of energy. It's just an exchange. I'm just exchanging this service for this, which will help me to pay for my bills. It will help me to pay for my electricity, for example, for my water. For me, in my case, for my websites that keep my courses running, you know, and everything else that I have to pay for to keep all of this going, you know. At the moment, I'm saving up to publish the next book that's sitting there. But as I've been going through this year, and I wrote it earlier this year, I realized that a lot has shifted. So I'm going to have to go through and rewrite some of the chapters because they no longer resonate with where I'm at as well. So as spiritual healers, you know, or spiritual teachers, or spiritual, as empaths, and whatever gifts you've got, mediums, whoever it is that you are, so many spiritual healers feel, you know, that there are so many beliefs around earning money for our services, for our gifts. Now, number one, top of my list that's come through this year so much once I realized there is one in the room, is that we're all the same. It's not that I have these gifts and you don't. And I don't even know about calling them gifts. You know, it's just what's possible for you. You know, I just went down a rabbit hole with the forgiveness thing, you know, and I just got so engrossed in the process and I fell in love with it. I fell in love with everything about it. And when I got to the end of it, the freedom that came from it, you know, I felt like, oh my God, this has to be shared, you know. I have to share this. That's why I was, you know, I went down that rabbit hole in the first place, you know. So when you come back and you've got all this, you know, the service, you have a service, whether it's healing, you believe that you can heal others, right? Or whether it's through sound healing. You know, I have a gorgeous friend, Rafail, who does sound healing, and that's his service. You know, I love sound healing. I did a course many years ago before I did Reiki, and I loved it. I love how it makes you feel, you know, energetically. It's just an incredible feeling. But let's get back to the energy of money and sales and making money from our beautiful spiritual services. Let's call it that. Just as I'm talking about it today, I want to shift away from the word gifts, because people will see it as, oh, you've got that. You've got those gifts, but I don't. And it's not. That's not true. And they're not really gifts. It's just that we've been focusing our energy on what is possible. For me, once I got through the forgiveness process, I discovered sound healing. That was beautiful. And then I discovered Reiki, and it was through Reiki that I began communicating with my beautiful spirit guides. And I discovered the way back when I was 5, my imaginary friend was Jesus. And that to me was, boom, my mind was completely blown. It's like, what? You know, I couldn't believe it when he came forward and he said, that was me. And I was like, no, why did you stop talking to me? And it was because that was the experience I was meant to have. I was meant to come back to them much later, after I'd had my human experience and all of this. And I went through the whole forgiveness thing. How can you forgive anyone if you've never been angry or resentful or held grudges? If you went through your whole life that, oh, it's all unconditional love. Of course, she was serving me in my beautiful human experience. Why would I need to forgive her for anything? You know, then I wouldn't have gone through the, the forgiveness process. I wouldn't have all this information to share now, So this is the beauty of it, So gifts is another word that I am going to replace. So for me, over the years after, I began doing Reiki, and originally, when you go in to do Reiki, I honestly believed we were doing Reiki healing. That's what I stepped into originally, because I kept hearing the word healing, healing, healing. And so when I first started the sessions, I thought I was doing healing, right? And so I'd put all my energy into it. And I found the first week I started doing distance healings, I was exhausted because I thought I was putting my energy into it, And then as one day this lady just wasn't responding, and I thought, oh, she gave me permission to do it. I'm going to do it anyway because she'd already told me it was fine. And I just allowed my team to I said to them, look, I'm trying to learn all these symbols because the distance one is quite a complicated one to do. I said to them, I'm trying to practice all my symbols. So I'm going to focus on that, and I'm going to let you guys do the healing. You guys go off and because I don't even think she's there. I think she forgot and went shopping or did something else, that we were going to do this session today. And it was in that session, that, okay, I'm focusing on my symbols and everything I'm doing. And they did the work. They did the healing. And then the next day, I have another one, and I thought, oh, okay, you know what? Even though this one was present, I thought, at the time, I believed they've got all the power, right? They're the spirit guides. They're in the spirit realm. I'm just this mere human here, right? And so I said to them, well, you guys are the ones with all the power, right? I'm going to focus on my symbols, on all the stuff I've got to do, right? All the words that I've got to learn to say. You guys go and do the work. Go do the healing, go. And so, because they're going to know more than I do what that person wants or needs, they're with them, right? And I don't know. I don't have their information. This is what I've learned over hundreds and hundreds of Reiki sessions. I don't have their information. All I get is a snippet on that day of what's going on with that person's energy. I'll get a word here or there, or I'll get an image, a vision, which I pass on. This is for you. You're the one that has to interpret it because it's your life. It's your journey, your path. I don't know what this means. I only know what they've given me to pass on. And with time, with many conversations with my beautiful friend in New Zealand, I stopped calling it healing because to me it wasn't healing. You see, it was just information about what you need to look at to heal yourself. What I learned through Reiki was that each person has the ability to heal themselves. And when they come to you as a healer, they're placing all their belief, they're giving you the power. You have all the power. They believe this with all their being, that you can heal them because you are the healer. You have the power. All the while, they're the creators of their reality. They've just given you all the power and you're going to heal them. And because you're the healer, this is what you call yourself. But it's them doing it. It's them doing it. They're allowing it. And if for that soul, that's not part of the plan, you're not going to have any success healing it because that is there for a reason, So, it's getting in touch with that higher self, having communication. Why is this here? Oh, okay. It's here for a reason. This is what we're trying to do with this. Okay, I get it. All right. So I stopped calling it healing. And I know within myself that every single one of us has the ability to heal ourselves. It's not a gift that I have that you don't, or a gift that a healer has that you don't. It's not a gift, and that is another word that I am replacing. They're not gifts. Everyone has these abilities. Everyone has it within them. This is what Jesus was trying to bring through What I have, you have, and more. What I can do, you can do, and more. He even said, and more. Because all you have to do is imagine it. And it is possible. If you can see it here, if you can see it, you can bring it into reality. You can make it real. All you have to do is see it. That's how powerful we are. You just need to see it. So, my beautiful beings, all you need to do is see it. All these gifts that we have, being able to see our spirit guides, have clear communication, the healing, it's all in you as well. We are all spirit. We are all the same. We're made of the same. And we are all infinite possibilities. And perhaps for you, you go through the process of forgiveness like I did. And on the other side, you develop different gifts. You tap into something else that we're not aware of. Because like I've said in a previous video, I think we're aware of 1% of what's in the unknown, but there's still 99%. Can you imagine? All you have to do is imagine what else is in that unknown that we could bring into this reality. It's just amazing when you think about it. All right, my beautiful beings, we love you guys. Remember to click like and subscribe so you don't miss any of the messages. And we'll see you in the next video, okay? Bye for now.